Hello, guys. An interesting topic today: how to watch movies. Basically, we all of us like to watch movies. They can be in any language: English, French, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, English. It can be any language, but uh, uh, a movie is a medium that everybody understands. And music and mathematics and movies are the MMM. Music, mathematics, and movies are the mediums that everybody and anybody understands, irrespective of the language. Language is not a barrier. So, watching movies is one of the most practiced hobby or passion that most of us have. So watching movies itself is art. So there are so many things that can be learned from watching movies, and we tend to take some conscious, subconscious, unconscious effects or impressions from those movies, and they can certainly affect our lives. So while watching certain movies, I was just thinking, a movie, for example, is a 3 hours of session or the engagement, whereas on the similar lines, careers also can be 30-40 years of engagement. So just like what a movie, a hero journey of a hero in a movie, it follows a very typical path, irrespective of whether the hero is from movies or from real life or from ancient history of 1000, 200,000, 2000 years ago, or the current hero in our society, Tendulkar, for example. The journey of hero follows certain footsteps or certain steps that are very interesting. So while watching movies, if you can segregate the phases in which the hero is moving, it will be really helpful to us to understand what exactly we as our own heroes can also do in our careers and life. So these are parallel tracks. While I watch some hero achieving his mission in a movie, I would also try to understand whether I can use some of those tactics, some of those methods, some of those operational areas in my personal life, wherein I can use them to further my career, personal agendas, etc., etc. So it is a very interesting thing to understand what a typical hero journey is, whether it is in movies or outside. So let us understand what those steps are. This is very interesting. The first step is ordinary world. All of us come from ordinary world, irrespective of what the background is, what the qualification is, what the parents are doing, what the neighbors are, where you stay, etc., etc. The backgrounds are typically ordinary. Ordinary is a relative term, but backgrounds are ordinary, wherein there are some positives, some negatives, some pinching points, some lacuna, some weaknesses, some strengths, and there are certain areas of improvement that can be certainly helpful to not only for a person, but also for his family and society. So the ordinary world is the starting point, and the weaknesses or the pain points or the lack of certain things in his life, in his or her life, those are the pain points that keep on pinching him or her. And these pain points, these weaknesses, this lacuna, to overcome these pointers, he gets a call to adventure, to do something, to overcome all these problems, all these weaknesses, all these limitations. He must do something. He should get out of the native place, or he should get out of the current job, or he should get out of the relationship, etc. It can be anything. Call to adventure. The first is ordinary world. The second is call to adventure. How do we overcome the existing situation that we are in? This existing situation can be anything. How do we move up? How do we move forward is the question. And the call to adventure is an opportunity to do exactly that. Now the third point here is whether, as a hero, we accept this call to adventure, or we reject it. Most of the people don't accept call to adventure because they are so used to routines and daily set patterns that they typically tend to say, forget about it, I'm okay with what I'm doing currently, and let it go away. So call to adventure is rejected, and that is a pathetic situation to be in. So first was ordinary world, then to overcome certain limitations in the ordinary world, hero gets a call to adventure. A tragic hero rejects it, hero accepts the call to adventure, but then there is refusal to the call. First is, he will not accept he will mentally understand that this is required for me to progress in my life, to progress in my careers, but I'm refusing it because I don't want to change. But the biggest resistance is to change the status quo. The biggest resistance is to change where we are. The biggest resistance is to change what we are doing currently. And so basically we are very comfortable in our cocoons and comfort zones. So refusal to call is third point. Then fourth point is meeting the mentor. Now he obviously meets somebody, a person, a situation, a godlike figure, anybody, or a friend, and he or she becomes a mentor, and he then explains to him that to overcome these limitations in life, or to achieve your dreams, to meet your expectations, to meet your aspirations, you must do something. And to do something is called to adventure. But since hero is rejecting the call, mentor pushes him to accept the call. Mentor explains and describes and cajoles him into accepting the call to adventure. So this is where mentors come in. Mentors not only push, inspire, motivate, but also guide in real terms of how it can be done by operational guidance, not only theoretical. Let us do it, and etc., etc. So this meeting the mentor is fourth step. The fourth is crossing the first threshold. Now, till meeting the mentor, everything is thought oriented. Crossing the first threshold is where the rubber touches the road, as we say. It is the first step. It is the first action that is taken towards achieving those dreams, or overcoming those limitations that are in the ordinary world, and towards achieving those dreams and ambitions and aspirations. So the first step is always important. It is taken by the help of mentors, by making sure that we get out of the ordinary world, by making sure that we hear to the call to adventure, by making sure that we accept the call to adventure, by making sure that we seek help from the mentors, and then taking the first step itself. The first step, as we say, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. This is what exactly the most important step is, the first step. And then once he starts taking action, obviously then he will be tested, the hero, on his journey towards success or towards aspiration, towards ambition. He will be tested, he will meet his friends, he will meet some enemies, he will make some enemies, and it will be a lot of experience, knowledge, experience, and attitude and character that will be built. He will meet a lot of people. Some of them will be helpful, some of them will be scornful, some of them will be enemies, some of them will be frenemies. Those people who would pretend to be friends but they are actually enemies. And then he will be tested over and over again, because as a raw character, he is coming from a certain location, and to achieve certain goals and objectives and dreams, he must become something else. In the process of moving from original Nilesh to transform Nilesh, there are certain skills or acquired qualities that I must learn and imbibe in myself, so that I can be a different Nilesh who is ready to achieve the objectives and ambitions and agendas. So test allies and enemies. He will be tested. He will get the friends. He will gather some friends. He will gather some enemies. He will make some enemies, etc. Once all this process starts, the next important thing is approach the innermost cave, which means I know as a person that I have certain limitations. Innermost cave is going within yourselves and finding out what your limitations are. We may be aware of those limitations, but we may not have the strength to overcome those, or we may not have the willingness to overcome or to take care of all those weaknesses and turning them into strengths. So innermost cave, first of all, internal beliefs. Those are the biggest ones to crack, because nobody can help us other than ourselves to overcome those internal beliefs of limitations, of lack of skills, lack of talent, lack of resources. So until unless we ourselves convince ourselves that we are capable of doing all this, those innermost caves tend to be very dark. You need to get a light, throw some light, and then you will be illuminated. Then this is the internal innermost caves. At the same time, once we start testing yourself, there are friends, there are enemies, they are open in the market, then obviously there will be some limitations or some attacks from the outside also. To overcome those attacks or tests also, we need to acquire certain skills. We need to change ourselves. We need to change the way we work. We need to change the way we communicate. We have to change the way we learn things. We need to learn to unlearn things that we are carrying over a long period of time. So this is where we approach the innermost caves, and then there is obviously a lot of changes that happen inside of us, which prepare us for the next, which is the ordeal. So once we prepare ourselves, the next step is ordeal, which is the biggest test. It can be a very big interview, it can be a marriage, it can be any personal milestone. And this ordeal tests all of us, all our character, integrity, morality, knowledge, experience, attitude. This ordeal tests all these parameters in our character, and if we are successful, we are rewarded, which is a fantastic feeling. And if we fail, obviously we already have transformed ourselves to a certain extent. Failure means we need to do some more work. in order to overcome the next ordeal. So award, reward. Once the ordeal is overcome at this point in time, you are rewarded. That is the important step. The next step is, once you are rewarded, the roadblock. Then once you are rewarded, your responsibilities and your area of work increases. There are a lot of new limitations or new obstacles that are in front of you. You must keep working on yourself, working on your skills, working on your character, working on your thought process, working on your communication, and and knowledge building to overcome all these roadblocks, so that you come across as a success in life, or in career, or in movies, as a hero. So this is a very important point, the resurrection. And the next point, once you achieve all these objectives, goals, and agendas, and dreams, the next obvious point is return with the elixir to the original place from where you started, so that all of the things that you have learned over a period of time, over your journey of a hero journey, the skills you acquired, the knowledge you have gained, the friends you have made, the enemies you have conquered, and obviously the strengths that you have built over a period of time, those must not only be used for your own benefit and welfare, but also for the people who are with you. It can be your family, near and dear ones, neighbors, society. This is exactly where the hero returns with the elixir to the original place. So these are the typical routine steps that any hero follows. First is ordinary world. Second is call to adventures. Third is refusal of the call. Fourth is meeting the mentors. Fifth is crossing the first threshold. Sixth is taste allies and enemies. Seventh is approach the innermost caves, overcoming our own misbeliefs and disbeliefs. Then there is the ordeal, the big taste. Then there is reward after winning the taste. Then there is roadblock, one more, many roadblocks, so that we are resurrected. We become heroes, and then once we become the heroes, we need to return with the elixir to the original place where it all began. So this is applicable not only to heroes in ancient mythology or current movies or Bollywood, Collywood, Tollywood, Hollywood, but also to our lives and careers, personal and professional careers, because we tend to go through all this over and over again. One limitation conquered, the next limitation comes up. But as we grow in life, this process keeps on throwing calls to adventures to us. Our responsibility is to accept, depending on our agendas and objectives, or reject. If we accept the call, we must take help from the mentors and start working towards achieving those dreams and goals. I hope you will look at the movies in this context, these typical steps in the hero journey, and I'm sure it will help you. You can take any movie, Animal, Salar, Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood, or it can be any other movie, and you will see that the typical hero, he will follow all these steps. Let us keep on watching movies. Thank you.